I have a question. If you could point to a single year that ruined everything, money, health, free speech, even war itself, what year would it be?
1913. The year they put a price tag on your life, handed you the bill, and you didn't even notice.
Stella, you want to know when they took control of every dollar you'll ever earn? 1 year, 1913. The Federal Reserve, a private bank, not federal, no reserves, was handed the power to print money. Your money. Its value has been collapsing ever since. Before 1913, a dollar held its worth. Now, $100 back then is worth less than $5 today. They created inflation, then convinced you it's normal.
Hold on, the Federal Reserve ain't federal, so who owns it? I thought that was the government's bank.
It's a cartel of private banks, Cleveland, created on December 23, 1913. When Congress was empty for Christmas, Woodrow Wilson signed it into law. He later called it the biggest mistake of his life. But it was too late. The same year, they gave us the permanent income tax, the 16th Amendment, the IRS, pay up or go to jail. So now they controlled the money supply, and they had a legal gun to your head to collect it. That's not government. That's a collection agency for the banking class.
The purchasing power of the U.S. dollar has declined over 96% since the Federal Reserve was created. What cost $100 in 1913 now costs over $2,000. Meanwhile, income tax went from 0 to a top rate of 7% in 1913, and then soared to over 90% within a few decades. The two pillars of modern financial extraction were erected in the same year.
But why stop there? 1913, the Rockefeller Foundation is founded. A philanthropy. John D. Rockefeller, America's first billionaire. He takes his oil money and starts generously donating to medical schools. He reshapes the entire curriculum. And guess what else is founded that same year? The American Cancer Society, a charity funded by the richest men in America. So now they control what doctors learn and what patients are told. The pharmaceutical industry isn't a conspiracy. It's a startup that went public in 1913.
Are you serious? The American Cancer Society was created by the same people who funded the medical schools? That's a conflict of interest on an industrial scale.
Exactly. And who decides what you're allowed to talk about? The Anti-Defamation League, also 1913, an organization that polices speech, decides what's hate, and silences dissent. Free speech didn't die in a day. It was killed in a single year while everyone was reading headlines. So let's recap. 1913, they took your money, taxed your income, controlled your medicine, and censored your speech. Now look at your paycheck. Really look at it. The deductions, the taxes, the number that hits your account. That's not an accident. That's a receipt from 1913. And then, in 1914, they gave you World War I, the first war in history where private companies profited from the killing. The military-industrial complex was born, and the newly formed Federal Reserve printed the money to pay for it all. War is not the breakdown of the system. War is the system's biggest invoice.
So let me get this straight. They make a bank to print money, then they make a tax to collect it, then they make a war to spend it. And we're the ones paying for all of it?
You are the silent investor in every bond, every bailout, and every politician's vacation home. And you never signed a contract. They just passed a law while you were sleeping.
And the craziest part? A year before, in 1912, three of the wealthiest men in America, John Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, Benjamin Guggenheim, were sailing to America to oppose the Federal Reserve. Their ship was the Titanic. It was owned by J.P. Morgan, who supported the Fed. He was supposed to be on board, but canceled at the last minute. The three men who opposed him went down with the ship. The Federal Reserve was created the next year without resistance. Coincidence or a business meeting that went exactly as planned? You decide.
That's impossibly convenient. The three opponents of the central bank die on a ship owned by the bank's biggest supporter, who mysteriously cancels his ticket. Even by conspiracy standards, that's heavy.
The Titanic wasn't a tragedy. It was a boardroom coup with a better soundtrack.
Everything you feel today, the inflation, the debt, the helplessness, the feeling that the game is rigged, traces back to 1 year, 1913. They took control of the money, the medicine, the education, and the narrative, and they've been running the same playbook ever since. The system isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Drain you, distract you, keep you working to pay interest on a debt you never agreed to. So stop asking why your paycheck disappears. You already know. The question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Because knowing the year they took over is the first step. The next step is taking yourself back.